Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Finally, it's happening. Part 2 of the splitter build. So Steve's place, where the splitter has been just chilling and living for like the last couple months. More than a couple months, maybe like 5 months almost, maybe. Because I think we started this back in, yeah, I wanted to get this done before the Honda Challenge track day thing, but we didn't, because mounting it was posing a problem. Almost the end of the year and we're finally getting around to part 2. Bumpers off. We took off these old DevSport mounts that I bought secondhand because the last time we tried to do this, we couldn't because it's hard to see, but these mounts, they're bent in a way that was pushing the splitter way off alignment. So I went ahead and bought new DevSport mounts from the website, new hardware and everything, and yeah, so we're gonna put the mounts that go through the crash bar first, then I guess take off these old mounts from this splitter, put on the new ones with the new hardware, and see from there.
We're off by 1 inch, and it was backwards.
Okay.
We had the left side on the right.
Okay. So that's how we messed up.
The angle faces the radiator, is what it says.
Oh, okay.
We're just doing hand tight, right? Just so it,
yeah. So we got one right now, so that way we can rotate it and make room for the second hole after we figure out how straight this is supposed to be. We pretty much made them as straight as possible and then marked the hole that needs to be drilled out with a Sharpie. So now we're just gonna rotate these things out of the way and drill it once we can find the drill bit where we used last time. Alright guys, forgot to hit record, but went ahead and drilled out that extra hole and mounted it. Pretty sure it's straight. The next thing the instructions tell us to do is to get the splitter part mounted to the thing itself. Leave it loose so that way you can adjust it up and down, but this will dictate where the splitter goes in terms of where you mount this part to. Also keep in mind it's not like this. We thought it was going to be like this, but it's actually more like this. In the instructions, in the pictures and instructions, this like foot part goes backwards. But yeah, so we're gonna throw those on here in a minute. Before we try mounting it, we're gonna cut this notch. This part hits the subframe, so we're gonna cut that out. Alright guys, it's kind of getting dark. We'll get the LED lights out soon, but we pretty much put this on where we want it. We had the bumper on, we adjusted this to where it's pretty much flush with the bottom of the bumper, then tightened it down. It wasn't difficult or anything. We went ahead and did one, took the bumper off, and then did all 4, and now we're about to do the same thing on that side. So, it's not mounted just yet, but it's almost there. We shoved some stuff under the splitter just to prop it up. We lowered the mounts just below the bumper a little bit for mounting purposes, then we'll raise it back up a little when once it's all said and done. But we measured both sides, they're about 4 inches on both sides. And then we pulled the splitter out some to where the back of the splitter is flush with the bumper. But yeah, so this is more or less where it's gonna be. Now we're just gonna remove the bumper, make marks on the splitter where the mounting needs to go, and go from there. Took the bumper off, then went ahead and marred where more or less where the mounting part was. Now we're just gonna drill. Now we're just countersinking the bottom part so that way the washer and bolt head kind of sit flusher into the splitter. I think we showed that on part 1.
Sheesh.
Hey, yo,
We did a thing.
bruh.
That end definitely needs to just come up a little.
Yeah.
Bruh. Mean lord.
So we're not 100% done yet, but we're almost there. We kind of miscalculated a few of the mounting holes. They are a little bit off, so we're gonna have to take it off and re-drill them. But we had enough bolts per side for it to be up there. It could definitely go up just a tad more, but it's more or less done. Oh, and we gotta put the air dam part of the splitter, but that's the last thing we need really. So yeah, bruh.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad. The air dam will definitely, like, spicy meatball. The gabagool. Alright guys, so we drilled those holes, and now it's all fully mounted. It's just hanging down to the bottom setting, because we're gonna get a fresh piece of garden edging that we used for the air dam on the last one. Get a fresh piece, put it under the bumper, and just measure out how much we need for the air dam part. So yeah,
Might need a little trimming.
a little bit trimming, and after that it's pretty much done. Just snug everything down, and voila.
The bolts are kind of finagled here. Seems. This happened?
Yeah.
Well, take that fucking splitter thing off.
Unless
Bolts off. Well, we don't have to take the splitter off.
you're right, we know. Get under it. Alright guys, so we were just almost done, but then we found out that these bolts for the air dam.
Battery ran out.
Oh, the battery. Of course it did. We were using it a lot today.
We did ease the shit out of it.
So where we put the air dam is fine. It's just that these bolts are too long. It's hitting the bottom of the bumper. Even though I trimmed the bottom of the bumper, it's still hitting in parts to where it won't align, you know, perfectly where it needs to be for the bumper to mount. So me and Steve are saying fuck it and just running without the front air dam for now, because we are pretty much done. This is just the final touch. There's actually another thing we wanted to do. Wanted to make some of the extra wood that we have, make winglets for the sides. We'll do that later on too. So that being said, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on the whole air dam thing, because even though the splitter's on, it's not 100% good in terms of aerodynamic efficiency. But this will do for now. I mean, this was the biggest hurdle, making and mounting the splitter in the first place. So we're gonna go ahead and do all this, and we will be back. All right, guys. So we took off the air dam. It took a lot longer than we were hoping because the cordless died, and we had to use hand tools, and we didn't. And we did it while it was on the car. But yeah, so we're about to put the bumper on and finish this.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need rings on this side.
Looks like this side's too high. And there it is, folks. Part 2 is done. The splitter is mounted. It took way longer than we realized. We did part 1 back in like what, May or something, and we're finally now getting to part 2, because when we tried mounting it the same day or the day after we built them, we failed so hard that we just put it on the back burner for like the past 6 months. But yeah, it's pretty decent. It's not super crazy or anything. It's just birch plywood and all that. If you haven't seen my part 1, then check that out. Of course, shout out to this guy right here for helping. It's mounted, it's done. This is the biggest hurdle we wanted to do, but obviously it's not complete. I still want to figure out the air dam situation, and we're gonna be making winglets for it in the future with extra plywood. There's some extra plywood right there, more than enough to make winglets. Follow Steve on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, comment if you want to. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.